Hey YouTube, Parson Rick here. It's a lovely March afternoon here in Oregon. Wind's howling and chimes are blowing. It's rained off and on during the day and, whatever. Got clouds on the horizon. That's the weather report for today from Eugene, Oregon. I'm smoking an H. Upmann vintage Cameroon. Somewhere in there should be a focal point. I like the H. Upmanns, and I like these vintage Cameroons. And I can't taste anything, but I like them. And I like them because they come with a cedar wrap. And I just love burning cedar, so that's cool. And I'm reading Glenn Cook's Chronicles of the Black Company. This is the first 3 books. They've been out forever, just never got around to reading them. Sometimes I just don't want to take on a series, Finished the first book of the Dresden Files. That was interesting. And probably the book that was the idea for the Grimm series on TV. My son knows all about it. I don't know. He's been listening to him on audio. But anyway, so that's where I am in the smoking and reading department. Just got back from, I flew down to get my daughter in Florida. That was my last video, I think. And then she and I drove home, got home Sunday before last. And it was it's a rush trip. And of course, with the COVID, everything in the Democrat states is closed. And so, like, we're in Memphis and we wanted some barbecue and every place is closed. We're in Wichita and we wanted some steak and every place is closed. But we still had a good trip and saw a lot of country I'd never seen before. Stopped in Muscle Shoals, Alabama at the Harley shop. And the name was familiar, Muscle Shoals, what's that about? And then, oh yeah, that's like the recording capital of the U.S. So it was really interesting coming back. We stopped in St. Augustine, Florida. Went to a little mini mall, and we're walking through. It's an indoor one. We're walking through, and there's a guy sitting in there rolling cigars in a shop. I bought a bunch of cigars from him, and he's personally made everything he sells, and they were quite good. It's like JC cigars or something like that. I could go look, but I probably won't. And I bought several from him, and St. Augustine was just a cool little town. I had to, we only had a few hours. I think we bopped around for about 2 hours there, and I could have spent a lot of time. If I had my wife with me instead of my daughter, and we were just on vacation, yeah, we could spend a week easily just hanging around there. But that was pretty cool. Until we got to Cheyenne. When we got to Cheyenne, Wyoming, it's only an hour from there to Laramie. We were staying in Laramie, and it was about 6 o'clock at night. And then we were on the highway, parked behind the semis for another hour and a half in the blowing wind, 60, 70 mile an hour winds. And it had the wind had blown a fifth wheel over right in the middle of the highway. Yeah. So everybody was stopped. And that was crazy. But we got where we were going. And then from Laramie all the way home, it was snow. I think we finally got out of the snow about 50 miles from home. So we spent the next 3 days. She spent the next 3 days driving on the ice in the blowing wind, and I was just a nervous wreck, because I wasn't driving. If I was driving, I'd have been fine. But she did a real good job. I just didn't want anything to happen to my little girl. And so the strain of being a parent, I guess. But we got home, and we'd had big forest fires this last year in September, and coming down the hill was the first time I'd been up there since the fire, and it devastated 100,000 acres or whatever, and burned out almost everybody that lived there, including the homes of some of my friends. And that was the first time I'd been up, and that was, oh boy. But there's a lot for sale up there. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's just a fast trip home, and wasn't a lot of fun, but we went to the Boot Hill Museum. I've got some video of that I'll put up at another time, and that was really cool. And my daughter and I basically had it to ourselves. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. That was probably like the biggest tourist thing we did. We took a couple hours and went there. Technically, St. Augustine was still at the start of our trip, so it didn't really count as tourist time. But very interesting. Saw where, went through Arkansas and stuff, where a lot of my family's from, and never been there before. And cut down, I think I cut the list of states I haven't been to in half just on the way home. And, yeah. Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee. Yeah. Been through the rest of them, so. Yeah, found a lot of places I want to go back to. So that's the purpose of traveling, isn't it? Met a few people, but I love traveling and meeting the people who live places. So, well, just checking in, enjoying a good cigar. I got to get rid of my cigars so I can get back on my pipes. And cigars just don't last like the pipe tobacco does. So, or I keep buying them, so my fault, I guess. So, all right. God bless. Parson Rick out.